Good morning. Those ads should be gone, if I'm not mistaken. We're at a very insane point. Time to meet up. Yeah, okay, man. Ooh, okay. And soon we get to go see what Avi's got going on. But good lord. Oh lord. I don't know what we should... we should laugh at this. I love the bad blood images. It's so cute. I wonder what the blue question mark is gonna be about. It's really cute. Anyway. Oh, they're just gonna leave her and go meet up with C. That's really funny. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm being messaged. Okay, well. Here we go! Several hours later. Oh, so we just straight up ignored Sato resurrecting in front of us. Oh, oops. Sorry to keep you waiting, Yuza. It's nearly time to meet up with Suyu, yeah? Let's go that way. Right. Making sure nothing interesting pops up on the map. Just in case. God. The whole island was in an uproar after that. We didn't even get to ask Sato what happened. Yeah, apparently she shut herself up in her room with the Wakabaras and hasn't come out since. What the hell was that though? And how'd she even get hurt like that in the first place? Some of the islanders were kicking up a real fuss, saying that Sato isn't human, that she's something evil and should be chased off the island. But everyone settled down after Mr. Wakamura stepped in and promised to handle it. Everyone on the island probably heard about it by now, though it'll be all anyone can talk about for a while yet. Did you go back home afterwards, you said? No, I stayed out to do some digging. Gran wasn't at home anyway. She hasn't recovered enough to be able to move around that much though, so I'm pretty worried. Yeah. You think our promise to meet with her by the bay is still on? Let's go and see. Hi, Grandma. Oh good, she's here. Gran, is your leg okay? Oh, is she... not ideal. Gran? It's me. Oh, okay, she looks fine. Oh, you two came after all. The waves were loud, I couldn't hear you for a second. What are you doing over there, Gran? This is where it's hidden. Hidden? What is? Oh, alright, your mother left us. My mom? Yes. So, Yuza, have you heard of an island called Taishima? Taishima? Oh! Okay, well that's what happened to Sato. And just now to see you. Huh? Oh, no. Gran? Gran? See, what's wrong? cut through the bone. You're like, we figured that out with Soto and Himiko, or not Himiko. Sorry, Himiko, right? Oh, God. What are we supposed to do? She's hurt bad. We had to stop the bleeding. Oh, and there it is, Kiko. What are you two doing over there? Sorry, I'm in shock. This isn't what she just suddenly. Is that sweet? No, you couldn't have. Wait. Shit, she's totally got the wrong idea. It's too late. She's got her pulse. It's too deep. It almost cut her clear in half. She never stood a chance. I'll go and get someone. You stay here with Suiza. No, it's alright. I'll come with you. Azumi. She's dead. The curse. Oh my god. See, who the fuck has the... Okay, it's not actually in here, but... Okay. Someone related to them. Does anybody have the suffix Mori on their name? I don't think so. I didn't do that. God. Someone get the clinic doctor. Oh! Is this old lady Nakamura? What the hell is happening? I hear screaming from down there too. Come on, let's go. Oh, GA. Oh. No way, even Chie? Someone help, 2 more people collapsed over there. What's happening? Help me, I don't want to die. Damn it. Too many victims. We aren't going to have enough people to help at this rate. There are even more over here too. No. What the hell is happening? Is that Kikuga got her too? Someone tell me what's going on. What's with these gashes appearing out of nowhere? This isn't right. There's no way this is normal. Is it a virus? Or was there really a curse? Those affected by the phenomena died instantly. The strange calamity that had suddenly descended on Kamishima plunged the island into a panic. With no knowledge of the cause or the reason, there was nothing that could be done to prevent it, and the massacre continued unabated for a time. Survivors were seized with fear. Some ran to escape, some simply broke down, some flew into a wild rage. A frenzied chaos swept over the island. A short while later, at least we were able to meet up with Tsukasa. But what the hell's going on? The whole island's in an uproar. Everyone's so panicked we couldn't find anyone who could talk straight. Who could blame them? No one knows who will be affected next. It's probably best to hide here until things settle down. You okay, Tsukasa? No, I have no idea whether my mom's safe or not. And I wasn't able to find Zato either, so I'm worried about her. Old man Wakamura said that he handle things, so I hope she managed to make it back home at least. Hey, do you think Sato's wound healing up like that has anything to do with what just happened? We've held off prying into Sato's past up to now, but maybe that won't fly anymore. Come to think, didn't this whole curse of the raging waves mess start when Sato came to Kamishima? Don't say that! This isn't Sato's fault. She's just a normal girl. I won't let anyone say anything bad about her, not even you, Azumi. Sorry, Tsukasa, I didn't mean anything by it. I wasn't thinking straight. I mean, I never thought something like this was really possible either. Huh? Something like what? Do you have some idea what could have caused this? A little while ago when we were at Old Man Makamura's place, some guy phoned and threatened to kill all the women on Kamishima with a curse. Another curse? Who was it? What did they want? I don't really know. He said something about no mercy, just punishment for anyone who defies him. It was really creepy. What the hell? All those people had to die just because some guy didn't get what he wanted? Old Man Makamura said he'd do something to stop the Raging Waves curse, but things just got worse instead. Azumi, calm down. It's no use getting mad at me. You're right. Sorry, Tsukasa. I guess I got a bit heated. Even so, that means those gashes were deliberately caused by someone using a curse, right? So they're the one responsible for all this. Right? Even if the massacre was caused by something supernatural, someone made it happen. About that, something's been bugging me about this whole thing. What do you mean? It didn't seem like the victims were being targeted at random somehow. They were all women for a start, so I was trying to think of some kind of common point that would tie them together. That's our Tsukasa, sharp as ever. So what were you thinking? Could they have been targeted because they were Ama divers? Now that you mention it, weren't all the victims we saw on the way here Ama divers? Though I guess most of the women on Kamishima have at least some Ama diving experience. But they went after Sato first, right? That wouldn't fit. Oh, you're right. Sato isn't an Ama diver. I was pretty worried. Yuza and I may be targeted as well, but I guess we can breathe a bit easier now. We still don't know what the conditions are, though. None of us are out of the woods yet. Wait, the victims were only women. Could the killer have been using this to find their targets? But that would mean the culprit is... What's up, Yuza? Find something out? Oh! Huh? What? Your head is... No! Oh. They sliced his head clean off. Oh, hi, storyteller. It's been a minute. Well done in your efforts thus far. I regret to say that it seems the mysterious attack that befell Kamishima has resulted in Yuza Minoguchi quite literally losing his head. There's nothing more we can do here, so let us bring this chapter to a close. For now, we will return to the story chart, where you may proceed with a different route. I wish you the best of luck on your journey. Thank you, storyteller. Jesus Christ. We're not even 20 minutes in yet. Goodness. I don't know what to start with. I feel like this. Okay, we'll just warm up with this. Arnav Barnum, a cheerful fantasy author, sets off on a trip to visit the mermaid legends of Ise Bay with his relative Circe Lernerlei as his guide. After much hustle and bustle, we finally managed to make our way to Ise Bay. Nice! Take it all in now, we're standing on the coast of Nakabeppo in the Mie Prefecture's Kawage town. Which means this is the Sea of Ise, the connection to the eternal world. How amazing! Indeed it is, come Cersei. Henceforth begins our grand adventure in the search of the legendary mermaids of Issei Bay. How amazing. I just can't stop saying it. Without further ado, my name is Arnav Barnum, an American-born fantasy author. Please call me Avi. Who are you introducing yourself to? Weirdo? Oh well, I simply thought a new beginning called for a little dramatic flair, you know? Sure. With that out of the way, perhaps my darling guide can provide some insight into the goings-on of this locale? Sure, I've got you covered. She's so small. How old is she? I know she's a child. 15? For some reason I thought she was like younger and acting more mature. No, that tracks actually. Yeah, she would be 15, that makes sense actually. While this area is now called Nakapapo, long ago it was a region of the Issei province known as Betsuha. I break up words weird because I don't talk out loud ever. I just read it in my head and it just goes by. Records indicate that 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net along this coast back in the Heian period. Now that's what I'm talking about. Let's hear more about those mermaids. They had human heads with the mouths of monkeys and teeth and bodies of fish. And they spoke and even shed tears like humans. Could these be the fish mermaids you mentioned before, Avi? Indubitably. Yes, this must be the place. I'm getting goosebumps. Right? I feel the same way. This is so exciting. They're so cute. It's the old name for an area now known as Nakapapo, Kawagi Town in the H District. So named during the events of the stories, it has been since merged with Sioux City of the Mie Prefecture. Said to have been the territory of Taira no Kiyomori's father, Taira no Tadamori. The area has a deep connection to the Issei Hike. Oops. But it is also said to be the location where 3 mermaids were caught in a fisherman's net and presented to Taira no Tadamori during the Heian period. Hi, Willow. You missed the most insane thing, unfortunately. So, okay, we're gonna go back to the story chart, actually, just for a second. This right here, that we stopped with yesterday, the curse is that samurai curse that Soto was talking- not samurai, the Heikin curse that Soto said that the skeletons were killed by. That's what slashed Sato. The boys left Sato to go meet up with Tsuyu. Tsuyu gets slashed down. They run away to go get help despite her being very dead, and apparently someone called Old Man Wakamura and said that, he was going to kill every woman on the island. So, every woman on the island is, like, was being killed. I want to say we saw Kikuko's body, we saw Chie, we saw Wakamura's wife, and then we made it to like the old military holdout thing with it was Yuza, Azumi, and Tsuyu, and Yuza seems to have figured out what it was, but he didn't say it out loud. And then his head gets cut off by the curse, so that ended that, and the storyteller was like, "Welp, he lost his head, huh?" And then just sent us away. So now we're hanging out and doing the recollection of what Cersei and Arnav were up to. The endless expanse of Issei Sea, the eternal world may just lie behind— oh wait, no, that was Cersei. The endless expanse of the Issei Sea, the eternal world may just lie beyond this horizon. After all, Issei Province is the land with the repair of the waves from the eternal world. The eternal world is purported to be a perpetual paradise, a separate plane from the world we live in, yes? Could it be that mermaids hail from such a place? Okay, is there anything else here for us? Any stickers of mockingbirds? Probably not. This young lady is a distant relative of mine, the third daughter of the Lunarlight family. The Lunarlights have been in the business of demonic exorcism in England for several generations now. As such, young Circe has received education on this rare subject from a young age and is now an apprentice exorcist. In order to continue her training, or more likely, simply because her interest in the area, Circe has come to Japan to study abroad. Upon hearing such news, I sought to employ her as my guide for this mermaid hunting expedition to Ise Bay. She is apparently quite fond of Japanese myths and folktales, and has already explored a number of areas concerned with the occult. Interested in visiting the Mie prefecture at least once during her stay, she immediately agreed to my request. A young exorcist from England, currently on exchange in Japan. Possessed of a bold and willful nature, she harbors an ardent interest in Japanese folklore and occult stories. She is quick to involve herself in anything that interests her, not stopping until her curiosity has been completely sated. Although she can be fairly blunt, she shows a naivety appropriate to her age around those she's comfortable with, and is not above the occasional prank. Circe is the third daughter of Sierra Lunarlight, the current head matrilineal Lunarlight family, a long line of exorcists based in England. Along with her two older sisters, she has received a specialized education in exorcism ever since she was a child, and is currently in training as an apprentice. As the beings known as demons in the West are ultimately share the same root as harmful supernatural phenomena in the East, spirits of the dead, strong thoughts and curses, what she does as an exorcist is fundamentally the same as what Japanese psychics do, with only the methods and terminology different. Oh, we got her abilities now! Primary spiritual abilities. Guardian spirits. The ability to call upon numerous guardian spirits of the Lunarlight family and invoke their powers to exercise spirits and negate certain psychic abilities. Shikigami. The ability to turn a piece of paper with an individual's name on it into a butterfly, which will return to the individual in question, although she does not have to be the one who wrote the name. It must be Circe who casts the spell on the paper. Dowsing, the ability to use a pendulum to search for a target based on what the user can sense of their spiritual power. The effective distance of the spell depends on the strength of the target's spiritual power. Very cool! Although she is supposed to be in the care of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, a confidential Japanese institute, during her time in Japan, Circe has been spending more time traveling around the country sightseeing than working through her training curriculum. The supervisor in charge of her training has all but given up on trying to manage her as a result, resolving to keep an eye on her, but otherwise not interfere. As such, she's afforded a relatively high level of freedom. Circe is an ardent fan of Miu Kurosuzu, a girl with potent spirit sense and her senior in the industry in Japan. She harbors both strong admiration and strong feelings of rivalry towards her in equal measure, and it is not uncommon for her to end up a babbling mess when the topic turns to the other girl. She treasures the photograph she has taken with Miu upon their first meeting in Tokyo and keeps it with her at all times. Very cute. I miss Miu. It's okay though. Love her. We've come all this way to a distant foreign land seeking mermaids. Of course, I have my own reasons for trying to locate mythical creatures, but for now I intend to scour this land in order to learn as much as possible about its lore and legends. But it occurs to me I never actually explained the particulars of my Ise Bay mermaid excursion to the girl. No matter, it is nothing of consequence really. So I'll just introduce my reasons a bit at a time. Arna Barnum! Nickname Avi, a fantasy author and occult journalist whose books are published in both America and England, but they apparently don't sell well. Unmarried. Notable works include The Fiend of the Ringgit and the Solar Crow, Hermod's Travels, and Bon Appetit, the Phantom Gourmand series. Although a grown man, he has a certain naive boyishness to him, most evident in his passion for romantic tales and appetite for chasing his dreams. However, this also comes with an equal amount of maturity, making him somewhat troublesome to deal with. He believes that most any circumstance he finds himself in will sort itself out, in an optimistic creed that often sees him casually throwing himself into difficult situations, and he remains impressively unbothered even on those occasions. He does find himself trouble. On those occasions, he does find himself in trouble, often managing to slip out of danger when nary a dent in his usual carefree attitude. That he's made it this far unscathed is largely owed to his sheer luck, although he remains blissfully unaware of this. I love this guy. I hope he's not, like, terrible. He is currently in Japan seeking mermaid flesh, which is believed to grant immortality. His reason for this is simple: a fascination with the occult, a pursuit he feels is worthy of devoting his entire life to. Indeed, he is primarily driven by his pursuit of romantic ideals. If he finds something suitably inspiring, he will readily risk his life for it, and is willing to change his views just as quickly as for the same. Avi's interest in the occult was born when he discovered his great-grandmother's vast collection of mysterious occult artifacts in the storage of his family's home in America. Among them was a mermaid mummy, which yielded a mysterious map when taken apart, a discovery which captivated his imagination and led to his current quest. Well, shit, that has to be the map that Yumiko and Soto are looking for. We're fucked. Uh-oh. This great-grandmother happened to be a relative of the main Lunarlight family in England, albeit one who had not chosen to succeed the family estate. After discovering this through independent research into his lineage, Avi made contact with the Lunarlight family and continues to maintain a secret correspondence with them to this day. We're so fucked. Is there anything else? But then, would such mermaids be so easily trapped by simple fishing nets? I thought them more cunning than that, but perhaps these fish mermaids are in fact nothing more than simple sea creatures. Alright. Oh, there's more to think about. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose I could be considered a guardian of sorts. Even so, I often find myself caught up in her pace and completely thrown off guard. If anyone should be shaking things up around here, it ought to be me. What a loser. I like him. I should be giving her a British accent, but I can't do one. Kage Town might be located right next to Mie Prefecture's modern capital, Sioux City, but there's something you have to keep in mind. This was also the birthplace of the Heian, a branch of the Heian period's permanent Taira clan. If you're going to talk about Ise Providence, then you absolutely have to mention them. I do have a passing understanding of the topic. The Heike took part in the Genpei War, right? Correct? That's right. That was the war in the Heian period where two great samurai families, the Minamoto and the Taira, locked horns and really got into it. Among the Heike was Taira no Kiyomori, who was a particularly famous figure and appears in many creative works concerning the event. His father, Taira no Tadamori, was the one responsible for securing the Heike's high social standing. So, Tadamori was Kiyomori's father, right? With names like that, how can anyone hope to keep them straight? That's history for you. I'm afraid you just have to memorize them. I suppose you're right about that. Then memorizing them I shall. Apparently, Tadamori was born in Sioux City in a place called Ubashina. Ah, that's why they call this the birthplace of the Heike. Sioux City? Previously known as Anatsu, the city has served as a port since the Heian period. Okay, that's literally everything we just said. This is the metropolitan center of Mie and a locus of historical events. I guess that makes the perfect place to start a new journey. Can we get back to those mermaids you mentioned? What became of the three that were caught in the fishing nets? Ah, at that time the lord of this area was Taira no Tadamori. You didn't already forget him, did you? Well, the fisherman thought the mermaids were a fascinating find, so he placed two of them into boxes and presented them to Tadamori. Oh, the Lord Tadamori must have been quite pleased by that. How could he not be? It was known that eating the flesh of a mermaid grants eternal life. Actually, Tadamori evidently said they were disturbing and gross and refused to accept them. God, what a waste. However, the fisherman cut up the remaining mermaid and ate it himself. So, what happened to him? Well, the fisherman said it was pretty tasty. Are you eating mermaid flesh, son? I guess we are. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing today? Well now, tasty is it? And that's all I've got. That's it? That's all I could find in the existing records. Then the activating mermaid's flesh alone may not produce any results. I suppose then there might be other requisite conditions, wouldn't you say? Well, considering the sheer number of eyewitnesses reports concerning mermaids, it's odd that there aren't more immortals walking around. That's a great question. Well, we know that the exist- wait, actually I don't know, has her profile updated? Do we know? No. Okay, there's nothing. It's curious. There don't seem to be any records about what happened to the mermaids that Tadamori refused to accept. I suppose it's possible for someone in the Heike clan to snuck off with them. Now that's a hypothesis I can get behind. I've put together an assortment of files concerning the Heike, so feel free to give them a look if you're interested. You have my heartfelt gratitude. Taira no Tadamori. The father of Taira no Kiyomori, an influential figure of the Heian period, was the man responsible for solidifying the social standings of the Issei Taira clan, and was notable for being the first samurai permitted to enter the imperial court. Entering the imperial court meant being granted access to Tenjo no Ma, a chamber where those who directly served the emperor performed their official duties. In an era where the warrior class was considered low status, a samurai rising to the level of court official was unprecedented. I need a drink of water, hold on. The Issei Taira clan went on to extend its influence across various provinces, and with the vast wealth it gained through trade with the Song dynasty of China, solidifying its foundation. This significant influence was later inherited by his son Kiyomori. Tadamori was said to have been a man of strong will and perseverance, yet despite the power he amassed in his lifetime, he was also said to have been modest and disinclined to indulge in luxuries. Nukimaru. Tadamori's sword, an heirloom passed down through the Taira clan. Okay, so Nukimaru was part of that curse, probably, right? Big sword. Originally named Kogarashi, it was said to have become known as Nukimaru when a giant snake emerged from a lake and managed to swallow Tadamori whole as he lay resting. At that moment, Kogarashi, which Tadamori had left leaning nearby, slipped it from its scabbard of its own accord and drove the snake away. The name Nukimaru derives from the verb nuku, meaning to unsheath, and reflects the sword's extraordinary act of slipping from its scabbard to save its own owner. Nukimaru was later inherited by Tadamori's son Yorimori, but after the downfall of the Taira clan, it has said to have changed hands several times, and its whereabouts are currently unknown. One time when Tadamori was visiting Itsuho and Issei province, 3 creatures with human heads, the lips of monkeys, and the teeth and bodies of fish were caught in the fisherman's nets, dubbing the creatures Ninkyo, the original Japanese word for mermaids. The fisherman put 2 of them in a box that had washed up with them and presented them to Tadamori. However, Tadamori was unnerved by their appearance and refused to accept them. It is said the remaining mermaid was cut up and eaten by the fisherman, who found them to be delicious. Great! Oh, and there's one more thing I should warn you about, though. Oh? This group sometimes gets referred to as Issei Taira as well, which might make things a little confusing. I'll go ahead and label it all as Heike. Does it really matter? Aren't they all basically the same thing? Well, not exactly. You see, the term Issei Taira refers to the Taira clan as a whole because it originated in Issei. On the other hand, people generally referred to the family within the clan that included Tadamori and Kiyomori simply as Heike. Their family features prominently in stories we're interested, so I'll use Heike most of the time. Plus, it's got a nice ring to it. Either works for me, so do as you like. The Tale of Heike. Also use Heike. You're awfully particular about this, but I rather like that kind of fastidiousness. But then... Okay, no, he's already said that. Anyway, after the number of events, the Heike would go on to lose the Battle of Dan no Ura and be completely eradicated. I believe I know this one. Dan no Ura is found in Kyushu. Kyushu is not. Bingo! The clan was chased out of Kyoto and pushed further and further west until they eventually were wiped out there. It pains me to think of such a repleasantly glorious clan meeting such an ignominious end. More's the pity. That's why the Heike's resentment is particularly strong, and many remnants of it remain even today. Hey, fish shop guy, uncurse that mermaid. Well, the mermaids are cursing us, I think. The mermaid owns the curse, as far as I'm aware. I'm very excited to figure out what's happened with that. Shrines and monuments have even been erected throughout the land in an attempt to quell that resentment. Ah, and now we reach a particular field of expertise. Because the clan fell from such an exalted position so abruptly, that resentment is exceptionally persistent and quite pervasive. That said, famous places related to people like Taira no Kiyomori are well attended by worshippers, so they're relatively stable. It's the puffed up and pretentious Heike clan members that no one even remembers who cause most of the trouble. I seem to recall a number of individuals going so far as to claim that those outside of the Heike clan could not be considered human. But if that's the case, are we really safe here? Don't you think we might find ourselves assailed by these lingering grudges? Much of Visay province is protected by shrines, and the area is suffused with spiritual energy, so we're probably safer here than most places. Well, that's just the land itself. Objects or people that resentment has seeped into are a different story altogether. That's somewhat troubling to hear. Making sure nothing has appeared to us. Well, either way you look at it, this region is home to many places associated with the Heike. Excellent. I believe I've gotten a grasp on the situation at hand. It's time we've made our way up to the next locale. We're on the clock after all. Let's get to it. Oh, we can move now. Yep, okay, that is everything. I'm gonna save just in case we get to any important point. Move. Making sure there's nothing on this map. That's crazy. Another town. Well, it would seem we've arrived. And where are we now, Cersei? This is an area in Anno Town known as Kusawa. Kusawa is quite famous because of the Yabukuni legend. I'd be surprised if there are anyone who hasn't heard of it. I'm sorry to say I've never heard of it. Wait, really? Come on now, don't act so shocked. You can't expect me to know every little thing. Besides, I'm not even from this country. The very reason I requested you to be my guide was so that you could teach me about things like this. I guess that's true. Okay, I understand. I'll be counting on you for explanations. On your explanations. Another town. Okay. There ought to be a bird around here, right? No bird? I want my Mockingbird sticker so bad, man. Oh wait, nope, there's one. Ha! I knew it! Oh my gosh, which one is this? This is Lil Blue. Or I guess it's Lil. That's Lil. That's funny. So cool. Okay. If Yabukuni really did exist, I wonder what sort of life she led. I can't begin to imagine what it would be like to live for hundreds of years. Okay, well, we haven't even talked to her about it yet. The legend of Yabukuni originated here in Kisawa in Anatown. Long, long ago, a 17-year-old girl named Osato lived in this village. She unknowingly ingested the meat of a mermaid that was served during a village gathering and became immortal. After subsequently being persecuted by other villagers, she became a nun and made a pilgrimage around the entire country. At the end of the story, she eventually returned to this village and lived out the rest of her very long life. Tales told in other parts of the country play out almost exactly in the same fashion. Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, we have read this before. Okay, she is a Buddhist nun who acquired a preternatural longevity after eating the flesh of a mermaid. Can be found in almost every region of Japan. Although the exact details vary greatly between regions, they all share the same fundamental element. A girl who ate mermaid flesh lived for 800 years. The Yabukuni legend passed down in Mie Prefecture is as follows. Once upon a time, a beautiful girl by the name of Osato lived in Kusawa village. One day, when Osato was 17, the flesh of a mermaid was served at a village gathering. Our Sato is 17 right now. So, who knows how long she's been 17. The other villagers, disturbed at the thought of eating such a strange creature, refused to eat it, but Osato unknowingly ate the mermaid's flesh. From that moment on, Osato didn't age a day. She shunned by other villagers and treated as a monster. She was eventually forced to leave the village, becoming a nun. Osato traveled the length and breadth of Japan for hundreds of years, before eventually returning to Kusawa village, where her long life at last came to an end. Oh wait, did I check the surroundings? I did not. Ah, the fabled beauty of the serene Japanese countryside. It really is charming. Oh yes, the incessant chirruping of locusts combined with the unrelenting heat. This is Japanese summer, alright. It is fascinating to think that such a peaceful place could be home to such profound historical events. I'm practically jittering with excitement. I can see that. Let's try to keep a cool head, shall we? The legend of Yabukuni, the girl who ate the flesh of a mermaid and lived for 800 years, has been passed down all over Japan. I'm seeing why Sato was hashtag like that. Yeah, not only here in Mie Prefecture's Anatown, but Fukui, Aichi, and Gifu prefectures as well. In total, the story has been found in 121 locations in 28 prefectures throughout the country, or at least that's what certain research has indicated. Doesn't that seem like a lot? Were there really that many different Yabukunis out there? Obviously not all the legends can be true. But I actually have a theory on the subject. Would you like to hear it? By all means. Most of the legends refer to a woman who stopped aging and lived for 800 years after consuming the meat of a mermaid. At that point, because others would find it strange that she wasn't getting any older, she wasn't able to live in a normal society anymore. I suppose that would be natural. It would explain why she withdrew from the world and became a nun. Exactly. And that's how she got the name Yabukuni, the 800-year-old Bhikkhuni nun. With 800 years on her hands, she could easily make the pilgrimage around the entire country. How interesting. Buddhist priests are known for trekking throughout the land as a form of ascetic training. If we consider the 121 locations where the legend was found, with 800 years to spare, she could have spent 6 years in each location. 6 years would certainly be long enough for her to make a name for herself in each and every location, right? Oh, my dear, I believe I see what you're getting at. Your theory posits the stories of Yabukuni that have been passed down in every corner of the country, as they all refer to the same individual. Well, it might be a bit much to say that all of them are the same. There might have been a few different people. But it's a more convincing theory than that there were 121 people. I also think that Yabukuni of the Wakasa province is more likely the origin of the legend. I wonder. Don't all the different instances of the story throughout Japan also claim that a particular location as her final place of final rest? That may be true, but I assume that each of those different places wanted to have a grave or some other tangible marker to base a legend on. But with so many people that are purported to have lived for 800 years all die around the same time, that seems pretty unlikely. Then you believe some of the tales were embellished so much? That sort of thing happens all the time. Legends are always mixtures of truth and fantasy. Moreover, it doesn't make sense that every single immortal would decide to become a nun. There were more likely some places that simply believed Yapakuni was the term for an immortal, rather than a nun. For all we know, she said, "I'ma be none of that and become an Amma diver." I hate him. That's actually pretty insightful. Many legends are based on simple semantic misunderstandings. No, wait just a minute. I won't just stand there and let my dumb joke actually become a salient point of discussion. Let's drop it then. But still, if one were to somehow live for 800 years, a person that became immortal after the Kamakura period could still be alive today. True, and if so, I'd love to sit down for a long chat. I love this girl so much. Can Kurosawa's legend of Yapakuni be really true? There must be falsehoods and fictions mixed into the tale, surely. Who knows? Ise Province isn't that far from Kasa Province, after all. She may have simply walked from here to there. The fact that the stories from each different area are so similar does make me wonder if they didn't get mixed together somehow. Ah, you think the legend may be an amalgamation of stories from various locations? Exactly. But then again, the immortal in the story from this location has her own name, which gives the legend a certain... Girl, you're 15, stop using big words. Verisimilitude. Indeed it does. I guess we can assume that a girl with that name really did live here long ago. Then something must have happened to make people believe she had become immortal. It's reasonable to assume her story got mixed up with various legends of Yapakuni from around the country before being passed down. Of course. The exact timing of these events is unclear, but that does present an interesting possibility. She could very well still be living in this village. Wouldn't that be a compelling development? Okay, well, assuming our Sato is the legend, okay. The legend we don't really know the exact time period of. Assuming, oh my god, sorry, I just read this again. She is not fond of period dramas because she was there. It's because they're inaccurate. She was there, she would know. Oh my god. Okay, so our Osato, the name Osato is for this Sato specifically. The legend, we don't know exactly how long ago it was, really. So she is probably the same, one of the people in the legend. One of the supposed immortals in one of the 121 stories. God. Oh no. Leave it to an occult writer to think of something like that. That's right. You're seeing the prestigious and imaginative power of a fantasy author in action. Yes, it's really something. But the fact of the matter is that there's almost no traces of Yapakuni remain in this village. Even her grave, which is referred to as Lady Yao's tomb, has never been located. But then, did we come all this way for nothing? Well, it might not have a direct connection, but there is something one should always consider when discussing Ise. The Tales of Ise. Have you heard of it? It's the oldest extant collection of Japanese verse, compiled sometime during the Heian period. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it. But I have heard the tale of the Genji and the tale of the Heike. Is it anything like those? Well, those were stories written during the Heian period, but that's where the similarities end. Nice try, though. Harumph. Well, they sound similar enough anyway. don't worry, I'm not an expert on the subject either. Basically, this collection of verse elaborates on a number of waka poems, by giving accounts of the events surrounding each one. The entire collection of 125 passages is referred to as the Tales of Issei. That's easy enough to remember, no? The Tales of Issei is a collection of short stories. Check! Ah, one more thing. The title might be The Tales of Issei, but the content isn't all that focused on the actual area. What's this now? Are they intentionally attempting to confuse and bewilder us? Some believe the title comes from the fact that passage 69 is set in Issei province. At any rate, I just thought I should bring up because it does have at least a slight bearing on the topic at hand. If you're keen to learn more, I'll add more detailed information to the files. Why, thank you. I'll be sure to read through them later. Right now! A collection of verse, or Uta Monogatari, thought to be the oldest surviving work in Japan, and is particularly well known for the opening sentence of many of its prose passages. Long ago, there was a man. Believed to have been compiled in the Heian period, it greatly influenced literature of the era, including famous works such as The Tale of Genji. The central figure of the narrative is speculated to be a fictionalized version of Ariwara no Narihara, a poet of the Heian period, with the prose passage serving as a biography for the character. Both the author and the exact date of the publication are unknown. The narrative spans 125 episodes, which vary in length from a few lines to several pages. It covers the life of a man, from his coming of age to his death, and focuses primarily on the protagonist and the people around him, particularly his romantic dalliances with women. Some of its most famous episodes are summarized below. Episode 1. Oikoburi. Having come of age, a man sets out on a ceremonial falconry excursion, where he catches sight of two beautiful sisters. Infatuated, he cuts off the sliver of his robe and inscribes a waka poem on it and sends it to them. Episode 6. Akutagawa. A man, having finally succeeded in stealing away a beautiful noblewoman, flees with her to a warehouse where they take shelter from the rain. However, the man discovers that in the morning she has disappeared, devoured by a demon that inhabited the warehouse. Episode 9. Azuma Kudari. Feeling despondent about his future, a man embarks on a journey to the east with a group of friends. In Mikawa province, he catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on how far his journey has brought him and recites a poem. In Suruga province, he sees snow on the peak of Mount Fuji, contemplates the passage of time, and recites a poem. In Wow, I can't speak today. Musashi province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shores of Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, recites a poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the latter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Episode 23. Tsutsui Zutsu. Close friends from childhood, a man and woman exchange poems and are wed. But when the man prepares to travel far away to far away Kawashi province to visit another lover, the woman displays no hint of displeasure as he sees him off on his journey. Suspicious of her actions, the man hides in their garden and watches his wife makes herself up beautifully as she can. But when she sits and recites a poem out of concern for her traveling husband, he feels profound shame and decides not to go to Kawachi. Episode 69, Kari no Tsukai. Having been sent to Issei province to hunt game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial princess serving as priestess at Issei shrine. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret, but can find no opportunity to speak intimately. Although they promise one another to meet the following day, it is not meant to be. The two exchange poems of farewell before the man sets out to continue his journey. Episode 95, Hikoboshi. Having fallen in love with a woman who serves in the imperial court, a man finally manages to meet her after patiently waiting for the right moment. However, the two are separated by a screen. The man recites a poem to her, proclaiming that his love for her is greater than even Hikoboshi's love for Hime. He compares the screen separating them to the Milky Way, so that separated the two legendary lovers. Moved by his words, the woman removes the screen, allowing them to finally meet face to face. Here's one other thing we can learn from the Tales of Issei. Adding the tale of to a book title really classes things up. You should keep it in mind. It was apparently all the rage during the Heian period. Oh, I couldn't agree more. My next work is certainly going to be a tale of. I love these two so much. Well then, I suppose that brings this particular subject to a close. On to the next. No rest for the wicked, I say. Time to tackle the next mermaid myth. Sure. I love them so much. Okay, I'm making sure. Oh, I didn't even look at the shrine. What's down there? Some sort of shrine? This shrine is apparently dedicated to Sugawara no Amichizane. We should go pay our respects before we leave. Can we? I guess not. Okay, whatever. Let's move. Very cool. There is a big soda in my future. I'm very excited. And here we find our next subject of inquiry. What place might this be, my dear? This is Futamigara, coastline that lies beside Futami Town. It's just over from Issei City. Ah, then we finally penetrated the outskirts of Issei City proper. Things are certainly beginning to heat up. This is where they found one of the mermaid body of the cursed mermaid body of Somikawa. I inferred that Issei City was the prefectural capital from the fact that Mie Prefecture was once known as Issei Province. Not bad, eh? Oh well, I can understand how you would arrive at that conclusion. But the truth is, Mie Prefecture is composed of 4 separate provinces: Issei, Shima, Iga, and Ki. Ah, is that so? But that doesn't change the fact that Issei City is regarded as the spiritual capital of Japan, making it a very important location. Very interesting. The sun has already begun its steady descent, so perhaps we should pick up the pace a bit. Yes, sir! Okay, let's look at the surroundings. Futamigara Sea is famously said to purify the body, so many visitors to the Issei Shrine come here as well. The scenic beauty of the location has even been featured in poems from antiquity. It certainly is easy on the eyes. The strands of pine trees along the shore make for quite the striking image. To make it even better, the embankment we're standing on offers a 360-degree view of Issei Bay. Makes you want to get out to the very edge and take it all in. It really does. Being surrounded by the bay like this is really such an enchanting feeling. What a breathtaking view. I love them. They're so fun. Is there anything else around us? I don't think so. We can look at her again though. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose I could be considered a guardian of sorts. Even so, I often find myself getting caught up in her pain. Oh no, he said this before. He has said that. Of course, I have my own reasons for trying to locate mythical creatures, but for now I intend to describe. Okay, nope, he said that. So, does this place have any legends featuring mermaids? It does. A record called the Kage and Ki was written by people at Horyushi Temple after the Kamakura period. In that record, there are a total of 6 instances of information concerning mermaids. 6, eh? That's certainly promising. One of those entries describes a sighting here in Futami, Issei Province, on April 3rd during the 2nd year of the Eibon era, which would be 1357. So they even noted the exact date. How fortuitous. The passage is as follows. From the sea of Futami in Issei Province came Injimuju, delivering perpetuity. So, what does that actually mean? My guess is that the mermaid was spotted in the sea by Futami, and it was named Miju, meaning health and long life, because it granted longevity. Aha! Granted longevity did it! Finally, we're getting to the good stuff! Yes, it's another account relating mermaids to Yabukuni. It seems the idea of mermaids granting immortality has been established at that time. Indeed. And now we even have a name. Oh, oops. The mermaid has taken on quite a different appearance in modern folktales. So what sort of mermaid was this, and what became of it? No clue. Again with the vague records! These people write down the appearance of some fantastical creature and then just let it wander off. I haven't personally gone over every bit of research on the matter, but I can speculate on an answer. Records of mermaids in other places often refer to them by name. In fact, it may have not been all that uncommon for people in the area to encounter them when these records were written. Let me see if I follow your meaning. The same mermaid would appear repeatedly, leading people in the area to grow accustomed to it. Am I on the right track? Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't bother giving a name to something you only saw once, after all. These people may have even come to have a kind of rapport with the mermaids. At the very least, it doesn't appear as though they were trying to capture any. Mermaids that people didn't want to capture. Then they weren't seeking its flesh. Perhaps there was a way of obtaining immortality even without the meat. Maybe mermaid meat was just really tasty and nothing more. And if that were the case, it makes perfect sense that they would view the mermaid as a divine creature. So they treated it as an auspicious being that blessed others with long life. You may be onto something there. This makes me think of that theory you mentioned about how there might be two different kinds of mermaids. Oh, you remembered. I stand by my theory. There's the fish mermaid, which looks more like an aquatic monster or beastie. And the human mermaid, which resembles a demi-human or a nymph. Indeed, that's the simplest way to describe it anyhow. Assuming that the mermaid in question had a name and formed relationships with humans and granted longevity, it stands to reason it was one of the human mermaid variety. You have a point. The mermaids we've encountered thus far have all been caught in nets and appear to have been more like fish mermaids. It seems more likely then that the mermaids who grant longevity are actually these human mermaids. Interesting. That would in turn suggest... My word! Would this mean that one could become immortal without eating their flesh? I'm not sure. There are countless legends that reference they need to consume their flesh. But I can't help feel there's more to it. If human mermaids are capable of communicating with us, I'd really like to speak to one. Agreed. Speaking of which, this is entirely unrelated, but there's something I've been wondering. Do you mind? What? But our conversation was just getting good. Protest all you like, but I shall ask anyway. On our way here, I noticed a certain something adorning the entrances to everyone's houses. What was that? Oh, right. Those are Somen Shorai talismans. Somen Shorai? Yes, although in most of Japan they're only hung up around the New Year, but here in the Ise Tokushima region, they're traditionally left up all year long. Interesting. I could add more detailed information to the files for you later. Right now, baby! Somen Shorai. Talisman described with the characters Somen Shorai Shisen, meaning descendant of Somen Shorai. These talismans come in a variety of forms, ranging from smaller objects such as paper slips, wooden tags, or hexagonal wooden charms, to larger objects such as hoops made of intertwined Miscanthus reeds, or shiminawa, sacred ropes used for ritual purification. These talismans are generally placed on doorways of households as a prayer for sound health and to ward off illnesses. Many households in the Ishishima place Somen Shorai talismans at the entrances to their homes, usually in the form of paper slips or shiminawa. Although most families in Japan only put up shiminawa in the New Year, Ishishima, they keep it up all year round, being replaced once a year on New Year's Eve. The words Somen Shorai originate from the name of a central figure in the legend of the same name. Although many versions of the tale exist throughout Japan, the tale is generally told in Ise Shima as follows. On New Year's Eve, the deity Gozu Tenno set out to court the princess of Ryugu. However, when the night fell, he found that none of the nearby inns had a spare room to offer him. So he turned to two brothers who lived by the sea for hospitality. The wealthy younger brother, Kosan Shorai, turned him away despite having the means to accommodate him. The elder brother, Somen Shorai, welcomed Gozu Tenno to his home, even though he lived in poverty. Pleased by the simple yet heartfelt reception he had received, Gozu Tenno rewarded this hospitality by sparing only Somen Shorai from a plague that ravaged the area next year. Ever since, it is said that hanging wreath of miscanthus reeds and a charm declaring oneself to be a descendant of Somen Shorai from one's waist will offer protection from plague and illnesses. This tradition has survived to the present day, where such charms are now used as talismans for good health and well-being. Ah. What is it? What is it? Now you're making me antsy. Is she okay? Come on now, Cersei. You realized something about this about the Somen Shorai, didn't you? You must share. No, nothing like that. It just made me think about how close this area is to the eternal world. It is? What does that mean? You'd already known this from the files, but regarding the Somen Shorai, its origin goes back to the legend about the deity Gozu Tenno, who was courting the princess of Ryugu. Ryugu, you said. That's right, Ryugu is close to this place. In other words, that place is very close to the eternal world. Yes, and furthermore, Gozu Tenno was also the guardian deity of the Gion Shoja Temple. The very same Gion Shoja who gets mentioned in our good old friend, the Tale of Heike. So it is! What was it again? From the bells of Gion Shoja echoes out the impermanence of all things, right? It sounds so cool that I even memorized it. Haven't got a clue what it means, though. Yes, that's the one. As for its meaning, you can look it up yourself. Fine. So what you're saying is, Ise Shima is a land with deep ties to both Ryugu and the Heike. And that is exactly why the Somen Shorai tradition is so well established here. Ah, that reminds me. There's something about Ryugu's princess that keeps bothering me as well. She is certainly mysterious, That reminds me about Furumiya Gara. Dear me, how time flies when you're listening to your lectures, Cersei. The sun has already gone down. I suppose I got carried away. Sorry. Well, if that results in such a lovely view of the sea at night, I'll not complain. You're right. Just look at all those stars. Ah. Girl, I'm worried about it. Dear me, I dragged her around all day, didn't I? Or perhaps I should say I had her drag me around all day long. As her guardian for the time being, I suppose I ought to have had us retire earlier. Though Cersei herself seems to have limitless reserves of energy. Stars sparkle the sky as far as the eye can see. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, but we really let time get away from us. Look at how dark it's gotten. Without light from the stars above, we'd be lost in pitch darkness. But look, the heavens are entirely enveloped in a shower of dazzling pinpricks of light. What a sight to behold. Would you happen to be versed in constellations, Cersei? Well, I've dabbled in a bit of astrology, so I guess I know a thing or two. Excellent. Do tell. Well, if we consider the constellations you can see in Japan during the summer, The first one that comes to mind is the Summer Triangle. It's an easy one to find. Triangle, eh? And I presume it's made up of 3 stars? Correct. Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altar in the constellation Aquila. Cygnus is the swan. I miss her. This trio of bright stars can be observed close to the Milky Way this season. What? I want to see! How do we go about identifying them? Well first, low in the southern portion of the sky, look for a star that glows red. Antares of the Scorpio constellation. Southwest, you say? From here, that would mean facing inland, looking to the right. Okay? Try to find a red star low in the sky and point to it. I can literally see it. There's my swan. Possibly the most famous of summer constellations, the Summer Triangle is formed by connecting Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, and Altair in the constellation Aquila. Vega and Altair are also said to represent Orihime and Hikoboshi, the 2 central figures in the Tanabata legend. The romantic imagery of the star-crossed lovers separated by the Milky Way has captivated people's imaginations since time immemorial. How to find the Summer Triangle. Okay, she literally just told us that. It is literally right there. I'm gonna save, and we're gonna just quickly run ads so pre-rolls go away, and I'm gonna get up and refill my water and stretch so I don't die. You know? You feel? Oh, we can't run ads for another 3 minutes. Okay, well we'll do that soon. Okay, star. Wait, I do believe I found it! That star just there with the reddest tint. That must be Antares, yes? Correct, that is indeed Antares, the brightest star in the Scorpio constellation. Aha! I found it all by myself. Why, I do make quite the celestial cartographer, if I do say so myself. I hate to rain on your parade, but you were supposed to be looking for a star in the Summer Triangle, so please try again. Ecads, that's right! Why not try looking straight up from Antares? I bet you'll find Vega at the sky's zenith. Give it a shot. There, that must be it. Bingo, that's Vega, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. In Japan, Vega is also called the Orihime star, and it is famous for its connection to the Tanabata Star Festival. And it must mean Hikoboshi will be the one on the opposite side of the Milky Way from that one. Exactly right. Can you figure out which one it is? One of the other stars in the Summer Triangle, in the same area. So see if you can find it. Oh. Eureka! I've spotted it! Ooh, that's Altair, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. Part of the Aquila constellation, Altair is also known in Japan as Hikoboshi for its role in the Tanabata Star Festival. Oh, that means I've managed to spot Orihime and Hikoboshi. It's as if I've drawn the 2 star-crossed lovers together with my own hand. Ah, how overjoyed they must be. Yeah, nice work. I didn't expect you to be such a romantic. There's still another star in the Summer Triangle to find. It might be hard to see because of the angle. Right you are. It certainly is a bit tricky to see something directly above you. If my eye is discerning as I believe it to be, that's the one! Oh, nice find! That's Deneb, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. Deneb lives within the Milky Way, which earns its name the Milky Way star. It does indeed to appear swimming nicely along that starry stream. There, I've located all 3 stars of the Summer Triangle. How do you like that? Good work. Now you've mastered the summer skies. Should I start addressing you as Professor? That's me. Feel free to rely on my knowledge. Alright then. Tell me, what's another name for the star Hikoboshi? Well, that was Vega, right? Vega. Altair is Hikoboshi. That's right. Well done, Professor. Phew. I mean, nothing to it. Regardless, we've seen all there is to see in Futomiyagara. I'd even go so far to call this a wrap. I think that covers all the mermaid legends from Ie Prefecture. But is there anywhere else here that you're keen to visit, Cersei? What? We haven't even visited the Issei Shrine yet. If you ask me, we've barely scratched the surface. Ah, you've got a good point there, but it's getting late. So let's save that for tomorrow, shall we? Alright. Okay. Now we will quickly run ads. Surely that was 3 minutes. Okay, it will work now. Okay. We will be right back. Okay, we can continue now. I think the ads are over, so. Best guess. Ise City, Toba City. Wow, talk about a gorgeous view. It is something, isn't it? This is Mount Asama's observation platform. It overlooks Toba City on one side and Ise City on the other. So that's Toba City over there, eh? What's Toba's got going on for it? Well, the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Toba is Toba Castle, built in the Sengoku period by none other than the pirate daimyo Lord Lord Kuki, who at the one time led the Kuki naval fleet. Mount Toba. Oh, that's more exciting than I anticipated. As for the Tobashima era, it's famous for having the highest population of alma divers in Japan. Aha! I knew there'd be something touristy. What a fantastic blend of culture and history. Mount Asama. Kongo Shoji, sorry. Shoji, a temple located in the southern peak of Mount Asama, was built to protect Ise Shrine from the northeast, traditionally regarded as a spiritually vulnerable direction. Perhaps as a result, many worshippers who visit Ise Shrine may also make the journey to Kongo Shoji. The observatory at the peak of the mountain offers a sweeping view of Toba City and the many islands that dot Ise Bay. I'm so sorry, I'm thinking about Baki now. Never fear. Never be afraid. You can do what you want. She's so cute. Ugh, I love her. Okay, let's look at the surroundings. Apparently, Mount Asama's peak sits at 555 meters above sea level, so it's not that high. But it is situated at the tip of Shima Peninsula. But as it's situated at the tip of the Shima Peninsula, it offers a magnificent view of Toba's Bay coastline and its outlying islands. There's a wrestler character named nicknamed Mount Toba, or just nicknamed Toba. That's really funny. That's awesome. Mountain of a Man. Since we stopped by the shrine this morning, I assumed we'd take the mountain path. All I can say is this place takes my breath away. From what I hear, lots of the inns in Toba are run by alma divers and fishermen. I can't wait to dig into some seafood tonight. I love this guy so much. Aww. She's been packed and ready to venture forth since the early hours of the morning, though I myself beat her to the punch, having been too excited to sleep a wink all night. First off, you should know that the naval troops in the Sengoku period were basically all just pirates. Pirates, eh? Yes, they would put together crews of rowdy sailors, arm them to the teeth, and have them patrol a designated area of the sea. They only actually served under their commander as a naval force when there was a battle. So that's what the Navy was like back then, A ragtag bunch of pirates that only called on to do their duty in times of need. Exactly. In fact, such forces only came to be navies during the Edo period, and that was purely a matter of convenience. As for the Kuki Navy, it was one of the pirate bands patrolling the waters of Ise Bay. A man named Kuki Yoshitaka was its commander, hence the name. He distinguished himself in the service of Oda Oh my god, Nobunaga! Oh my god, Hideyoshi! No way! Sorry, Piano's been playing, Onimusha, and they're both important historical figures that get put into the game. Oh my god, it's Nobunaga! And Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Sorry, I got really excited. He distinguished himself in the service of Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi, eventually rising to the position of daimyo of the Shima province. That's why they called him the Pirate Daimyo. He started as a lowly pirate, but rose all the way to the top of the chain of command. I I put all of my mermaids inside the golden evil's curse stone. Did you say Oda Nobunaga? Him, I've heard of. He was the demon king of the Sixth Heaven, no? True, but that's a title he gave himself. Still, a pirate and a Daimyo. Well, what an enchanting combination. That may be, but he wasn't blessed where allies were concerned. It seems he was always butting heads with his relatives. Oh? For one thing, he may have had his nephew, Sumitaka, assassinated in order to take over the Kuki clan. He also fought on the opposite side to his own son, Moritaka, in the decisive battle of Sekigahara. And in the end, spurred on by his vassals, he committed suicide on Toshijima, that island over there. So while Kuki became Daimyo of Shima province, his land was confiscated during his son's rule, and the clan fell to decline. Life is truly full of ups and downs. How the mighty do fall. He must have been quite the character. That's certainly one way to put it, my good sir. That reminds me, there's another fascinating legend related to the Kuki clan. Oh, do tell. It's about Kuki Yoshitaka's nephew, Sumitaka. He had an extraordinarily beautiful daughter named Princess Hatsune. I dare say I know where this is going. Whenever a legend starts with a beautiful daughter, it inevitably ends in trouble. You're not wrong there. Princess Hatsune was so beautiful that she saw no end of suitors, and her father sought to marry her off to achieve his political ends. But the princess already had a lover, so she fought against her father's plans and even ran away several times, only to be brought home. I knew it. Alas, that's what life was like for the daughters of powerful figures in those days. Well, Princess Hatsune lamented her fate. Must I be cursed with such misfortune merely for my beauty? And she didn't stop there. May no beautiful daughter be born to this land again. Such the curse she left behind, before throwing herself down a well. And so ends the legend. Not what I would call a happy ending. The princess may have had good intentions, but I'm sure no one else felt she was doing them any favors. Good intentions? That isn't how I interpreted it. Well, what's your take on the story then? Poor Hatsune Miku. When authority figures try to force other people's hands, they just bring things upon themselves. It's just asking to get cursed. Fair enough. I see your point. Still, the princess did take it a bit far. To me, though, it feels like almost that part was tacked on later. As someone thought it would make the story more impactful, that the word would travel further if the princess killed herself at the end. Oh, if you're right, that would change the story completely. But there is something else that interests me. Sumitaka became the head of the Kuki clan in 1560, but he was so young that Yoshitaka had to be appointed as his guardian. His exact age at the time isn't known, but the common belief that he was about 8 years old. Nothing unusual there. Premature inheritances were a common occurrence in those days. But consider this, when Sumitaka died 24 years later, in 1584, he would have been 32 years old. Yes? Even if we suppose that Princess Hatsune was 15, their ages don't quite add up, do they? Age differences weren't so much of a point of contention back then, but even so, that is a bit odd. Which begs the question, did Princess Hatsune really exist to begin with? And even if she did, was she really Sumitaka's daughter? And Magatama was unearthed at the place where the princess was supposedly buried, but that could easily have been planted there to lend credibility to the tale. Well, once you start doubting, it's hard not to see lies on everywhere. True, and the pursuit of the unknown starts with belief, doesn't it? Well said. A certain occult researcher taught me that one. You don't say. Alright, this is traditions and history. This is the Kuki clan, Kuki fleet and Princess Hatsune. During the Sengoku period, Shima province was home to a number of local clans, among which the Kuki clan was just one of many pirate clans operating in Ise Bay. However, things changed when Kuki Yoshitaka correctly read the changing tides and allied himself with Oda Nobunaga and then Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Both powerful figures of the era, Rising to prominence as commander of the Kuki Navy, he became the feudal lord of Shima Province, founding Toba Castle as his base of operations. While Yoshitaka was in service on Nobunaga, the head of the Kuki clan was his nephew, Sumitaka, with Yoshitaka serving as his advisor. Despite his position, Sumitaka was little more than a puppet lord and died young, reportedly due to illness, just 2 years after the Honnoji incident. However, these theories suggest that he was actually poisoned by Yoshitaka as a part of the scheme to seize control of the family. Kuki Sumitaka's daughter, Princess Hatsune, was said to have been a woman of great beauty. Sumitaka planned to marry her off as a part of a political marriage. However, Princess Hatsune refused, saying she already had promised her future to someone else. Upon learning that Princess Hatsune's beloved was a member of an enemy clan, Sumitaka was enraged and insisted that she marry the person he had chosen for her. Although Princess Hatsune made numerous attempts to escape in order to be with her lover, she was caught each time and forced to return home. Despairing of her fate, Princess Hatsune lamented her beauty, blaming it for her predicament, before throwing herself down a well in her sorrow. As she did so, she prayed with her last breath that no beautiful woman would ever be born in that land again, or so the legend goes. Despite the tale preserving as part of local folklore, many questions about the accuracy of Princess Hatsune's legend remain, including Sumitaka's age at the time. Oh my god, I almost forgot. We're catching big fishes. Yes, we are. I spelled it wrong in the title. I spelled it normally instead of fishes. Oh, I just realized something. Kuki Sumitaka died or was assassinated exactly 400 years ago. Is that significant? It is! A special spiritual significance is attached to periods of 400 years. For instance, the cycle of death and rebirth supposedly lasts 400 years, and some stories claim that a soul endures for 400 years. Of course, 800-year immortals have twice that lifespan, but as you can see, 400 years is widely considered a good cutoff point, so there's a chance something happens after 400 years? Maybe. In any case, we should probably tread carefully here. It sounds to me as if we're in the right place at the right time. Sir, yes, sir. Ama divers have a long history in the Tokushima region. Evidence indicates that free divers have been fishing in the area since ancient times. You don't say. Most notably, it is said that Oben, who once presented an abalone to Yamatohime no Mikoto, was the very first Ama diver. In fact, there's a shrine dedicated to Oben in Kusaki that is considered a sacred place to Ama divers of the Tokushima region. Is that so? She must have been truly legendary. Moreover, there are actually several poems in the famous 8th century poetry anthology Minyoshu that depict the Ama diver in Shima province. We're going to interrupt a reincarnation blood feud between an 800-year mortal, mermaids, and pirates. Probably. Ama divers also appear in dozens of ukiyo-e from the Edo period. Clearly they were a popular theme. It's quite incredible to think that their method of fishing has not only endured for so long, but has been recorded in such exquisite detail. There is another point worth noting. Ama divers have been likened to mermaids for their skill and grace. You could even argue that the Ama diver culture that is so deeply rooted in this place is interwoven with the region's mermaids legends. Yes, there's a theory that the mermaids of Ise Bay were simply Ama divers. It does seem likely that there's a connection between the two. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the originators of the legend. Perhaps, but I'd be beyond disappointed if that's all there is to it. Oh, right. By the way, there's another legend surrounding the Ama divers of the Tokushima region regarding something called the Tomokazuki. The Tomokazuki? It is believed that an Ama diver may encounter a copy of herself underwater, who will then offer her an abalone. If she accepts, the Tomokazuki doppelganger will drag her to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again. Ah! Seriously, please don't spring scary stories on me out of nowhere. That's why Ama divers of this area wear the same endowment symbols on them while they dive. It's a tradition that has continued right up to the present day. There must be some reason for it beyond pure superstition. Interesting. On another note, the Amba divers of the Tobashima region possess such exceptional diving skills that, in addition to fishing, that they've also saved people from drowning and fetched objects that had sunk to the sea floor, right up into the Meiji era. Well, it sounds like if they were it sounds as if they were true diving professionals. So much interesting stuff. Yeah, I'm absorbed in this. Exactly. In fact, after the Heike were defeated at Den no Ura and were lost beneath the waves. Oh? We're back to the Heike already? I wasn't aware there was a connection. Well, after that fateful battle, who do you think they sent to reclaim the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi from the sea floor? 2 Amba divers. So their lost and found services were being employed back then, eh? And while they were diving, they came face to face with the vengeful spirits of the drowned Heike. Cersei, please, you're gonna give me nightmares. At least that's what's depicted in the ukiyo-e entitled, "In the Western Sea, the diving women encountered the Heike in the depths of the water." With such a deep connection, to think the Heike were even once depicted with Amba divers. They truly are a symbol of the Ise Shima region. Yes, but the setting for that is Den no Ura, which isn't anywhere near here. Still, it does go to show that Amba divers have held a deep connection to the sea for a very long time. Nope, he's said that a billion times already. And when we're talking about the Tobashima region, Amba divers are always going to be key players. True. If you ask me, they should be brought up before the pirates. Mind you, the Navy had a crucial role to play too. Right, well, as fascinating as all of this has been, Cersei, I'd say it's high time we return to our primary topic of interest here. Oh? What would that be? Personally, now that we visit the Ise Shrine, I'm more or less satisfied. Tut tut. Cersei, you disappointed me. We didn't come here to purely chase legends, did we? And here I was hoping we can move on to buying souvenirs next. You know perfectly well that the true purpose of my voyage is nothing more than less of a treasure hunt, right? Of course, I'm sure all this information we've been gathering will come in handy as well. She's so awesome. I love this kid. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Yes, sir. Goodness. I'm scared. And here's our new guy! Aw, best buds with Snowball. Neil Blue. The leader of the Hoodlum Band's Hoodlum Band, Blues Brutal Beaks, albeit in name only. The son of Avis Academy's board chairman, he turned to delinquency in defiance of his father, who refused to accept tit for tats. The very first friend he'd ever made. Aww. Although small in stature and timid by nature, those who have seen him cornered tell a different story, describing his berserk behavior as that of a bird possessed. He's a fairy penguin. Aww. He's so cute, and he's best friends with, except for Dad. Our friend with Snowball. Cute. Goodness. Well, now we have Treasure Hunt Part 1 and 2. Well, presumably between these two. And then arriving in Kamishima. God. I wanna... God. Girl who is here for souvenirs and also able to use magic. Well, she's here for the folklore. But also souvenirs to bring back when she goes home, probably. Alright. Aw, Kamishima Turtle. Now then, I believe it's time we discuss our strategy. Sure. What do you mean by strategy? Should be obvious. We must reflect on all we've learned if we want to move forward. That's the map. That Soto and Yumiko need, I'm pretty sure. Christ, we're so fucked. Is there a bird in here? Pretty please. Bird? Sad. This is Murakumote. It's a small inn located in Tohoba. It's a laid-back inn that feels more like a private residence than a hotel thanks to the attentive staff. I can barely count all the different fresh fish we were served for dinner last night. I have not felt so full in a while. I worried yesterday that Cersei might struggle to sleep on just a futon in a tatami room like this, but she looks well rested. I suppose she's used to it. I, on the other hand, was too excited to get much sleep. The door to our room. Outside is a hallway with a restroom and communal wash basin, wash basin for communal use. Guests place their shoes in the cubbies at the entrance and wear slippers while inside the inn. I always forget that he's American, so I'm like, yeah, duh. It may be reasonable and it may even resemble an L-shaped dividing screen, but I think it's actually a towel rack. You're close. It's a small clothes rack. I see. So that's what it is. Yes, normally it's used to hang kimonos, but this one is quite small, so I suppose it would work well for towels and other small garments. You're quite knowledgeable. This is a poster advertising the island of Kamishima. I'd love to pay a visit to a remote island like that. The name is intriguing too. Ah, Kami means turtle, doesn't it? That it does. It's a poster of Kamishima. I just can't shake this weird feeling. Huh? Why? Is there something wrong with that island? Or the poster? The poster, I believe. Do you mind if I take a closer look? My hunch was right. There's a presence here. No way. Come on, don't scare me like that. Oh, we're gonna leave that alone for a minute. We're gonna leave that alone for a minute. Extra lights for the room. A lot of attention was paid to creating a comfy atmosphere for the guests. A porcelain ashtray that came with our room. Ashtrays like this are found just about anywhere, so one can smoke anywhere with no worries. That being said, I've noticed people outside just simply dropping the cigarettes on the ground. Well, I wasn't a smoker to begin with. Mosquito repellent. I miss having a weird girl assistant so bad. Yeah. A hanging scroll perfectly complements the tatami room. This room may not have a dedicated alcove, but the scroll really ties the room together. How lovely. Each room is equipped with a mosquito trap. They tend to come through the windows on hot days. It's a neat contraption. You just have to plug it in and place it, and it will kill any nearby mosquitoes. Traps like these are reliable, as well as easier and safer than the combustible type, so they've gotten quite popular. How nice! Oh, my telephone. The phone can only be used to call the front desk. Outside calls are impossible. I see. Light passing through the windows. It's hot outside, so I'll leave them closed. Dried flowers. I suppose this is the embodiment of the Japanese concept wabi-wabi, or however you say it. My bag. A faithful travel companion of several decades. Sarah Asher, call me true. I miss her so bad. I miss her. I say that as if episode 3 isn't coming out this fall. I'm so excited for that. Some of the notes I've taken, the information in them is not substantive and likely of no use. I'm getting nervous. Okay, sketch. This is a sketch of the mermaid that I found in our family storage. Bringing it along would have been out of the question, so I settled on just bringing a sketch. Oh, that's right. I still haven't told Cersei why I'm searching for mermaids. Okay, actually... Okay, I know I said this yesterday. Oh, oops. No, we already did that one. I know I said this yesterday. I said that, oh, haha, his last name is Barnum. Like, P.T. Barnum, as in, like, the circus and freak show guy that was, incredibly evil. I said, hey, I remember that he had a fake mermaid. Mummified mermaid. Hi, Brave Doodle, how are you doing? So I wonder if he's actually related to the Barnum family, and this was and the mermaid is actually real in this universe or something. And that's what he has, and that's why he has the map that, this map here that Soto and Yumiko are looking for. Just drawing? Hell yeah. Good to hear. Oh? Is this the business card from that guy we met earlier? It is. We managed to glean some surprisingly good information from that exchange. What the hell are you talking about? First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Pardon me, but would the lovely lady and the handsome gentleman be willing to spare me a moment? Why yes, the gentleman does have some time. I suppose that makes me the lady then. Oh, it's you. Oh, I'm scared. Who the hell are you? You've been following us for quite some time. Huh? He has? For how long? Since the Issei Grand Shrine, I believe. Truly? Maybe you could try keeping me apprised of things like this in the future, Cersei. It appears I wasn't as stealthy as I thought. My apologies for the indiscretion. Oh my god, it's Phoenix Wright. It's evil Phoenix Wright. But you see, the two of you piqued my interest. Foreigners in Issei Bay, searching for mermaids. Gah! You overheard everything! How embarrassing. Avi, hollering won't lessen the embarrassment. But how rude of me. I ought to introduce myself. Hmm? I'm an event planner here in Issei City. My name is Kipei Akoma. You're a liar. You can't be Akoma. What the hell? No. That's... No, that's tradition. That's phenomenon curses. Yeah, the name of Kipei Akoma. This is Kipei Akoma, who went missing 6 years ago. You don't look like him. You're a liar. Oh. Kipei Akoma. Oh, fancy business card and everything. What a charming fellow. Let's see. Sala planning, eh? And it says here you're the CEO? I'm actually the only employee, so the title doesn't mean much. I see. I apologize for the rudeness, but I actually just ran out of business cards of my own. Did you ever have any? Ugh. I had heard you need to carry business cards to Japan if you want to avoid looking suspicious, but I still forgot to bring any. But the free-willing and forgetful man before you goes by the name Arnav Barnum, a fantasy author who is merely passing through. Do you believe me? Or am I too suspicious? Without a business card for proof, the verdict is yours alone to make. So you're an author, Mr. Barnum. Please call me Avi. This was Cersei. She has studied more Japanese history than even the average Japanese citizen. It's a pleasure. If you'd like, I can list the top 100 of Issei's best features at any time. Aren't you a delight? I was right to take an interest in the two of you. I don't trust this guy. Events Services Co-CEO. Director of Sala Planning, a venture company primarily on planning and producing tourism promotion events in Issei City. An ambitious young man. Kipei is both highly driven and extraordinarily tenacious when it comes to fulfilling his goals. He is currently planning a PR project themed on mermaids as a sightseeing attraction. About 6 years ago. Okay, new theory. Um, where is he? This guy is one of Yamashina's apprentices, and somebody attached to this guy is killing people to give guys different identities, maybe? About 6 years ago, for the support of wealthy tycoon, yeah, I didn't even read his name yet. Yoshiatsu Yamashina, Kippei moved from Ise from the countryside with nothing more than the clothes on his back and an eye to making his fortune. This aggressiveness won him Yamashina's favor, and after several years spent building up experience as his assistant, the tycoon granted Kippei an investment with which he started the current company. Although Yamashina could be said to be particularly strict with him, this was a reflection of the high expectations he has for his future. Kippei is often told that he looks old for his age, but as this means he's not taking lightly on doing business, he sees it as an advantage. You do look older than the other, 25, 26-year-olds we got. He's 25. She's 28. He's 21. Yeah, I don't... He's not the real Ikoma. I don't think he's the real Ikoma. I think he took that identity. He doesn't look like him either. Not really. Oops. Forgive me for my bluntness, but would you mind sparing me a few moments? I'd love to talk a little longer. I suppose that could be arranged. Gusts of winds graze this lovely observation deck. Is there a bird around? Bird for me? I don't think so. I thought she was totally absorbed in our sightseeing, yet she noticed that we were being tailed. Impressive, if I do say so myself. What do you think, Cersei? Feels like a scammer who targets foreign tourists. Quite the blunt one, aren't you, young lady? So this young man is actually a CEO, though I'm not sure if I'd call him young. His gaze has a piercing quality to it, and there is something off about his smile. Everything about him feels older than he looks. I believe these oversized suits, known as soft suits, are currently quite popular in Japan. Perhaps he is trying to be taken seriously as CEO. He certainly is putting a lot of effort into his appearance. The truth is, I'm currently planning a promotional tourism campaign for the Ise-Shima region. I was thinking of using mermaid legends as the centerpiece of the campaign. Mermaids, huh? I'm sure you are quite aware of the mermaid legends of Ise Bay, yes? I thought we could hold events and exhibitions centered around such legends to attract tourists. I see. So that's why you were interested in mermaids. Additionally, the Ise-Shima region is also famous for its pearls. I believe mermaids and pearls naturally complement one another. True. There's also famous legends that when mermaids' tears turn into... there is also the famous legend that mermaids' tears turn into pearls when they are washed away by the ocean. Oh, such a story would do wonders to the diving tourism to the area. Does this project mean you are knowledgeable about mermaids in Ise then, Mr. Ikoma? I suppose it does. I know a fair bit. Hold on. His expression sucks. He's scary. I don't like him. Well, Hmm. We do have to kill this guy. He's got the name of a dead man that died 6 years ago, and he showed up 6 years ago. So, my only conclusion with that is Yamashina here is behind the bodies on the ground, or not on the seafloor. Or maybe it's this guy that's behind the bodies on the seafloor. For example, there are some remaining legends that some people have never heard of. Oh, do share. A long time ago, there was an island south of Kamishina known as Taishima. Have you heard of it? I'm afraid I haven't. It rings a bell. It was also called Taishima by some. Tai. It wouldn't be Tai. Oops. It's also said that once upon a time, 3 mermaids lived on Taishima. Wow, 3 of them. Tell me, were they human mermaids or fish mermaids? Human mermaids? Well, I suppose their upper bodies were human, so I suppose you could describe them as such. I see. That would separate them from the 3 mermaids discovered in Bitsuho during the Heian period. Oh? This is the first I've heard of this tale. However, Taishima sunk about 400 years ago during a natural disaster. The mermaids seem to have vanished after that. What? That's such a shame! Regardless, it is said that the 3 mermaids were named Sobe, Nagami, and Hayase. Or Hayase. Now I can't say anything. God. So the mermaids were named too, huh? That definitely adds to the authenticity of the story. Pardon me, Mr. Ikuma? I never came across such concrete information. Where did you learn this? I don't blame you for questioning my sources. I also haven't managed to find any records of this tale. You see, the story was passed down through word of mouth. As it turns out, there was a single man who managed to escape the island's destruction. His descendants have kept the legend alive. Aha! So, it's one of those descendants you've heard the story from. That's right. They live a modest private life these days. When the story comes straight from a descendant like that, it does lean to some credibility. I'm trying to remember if they already knew this. These 2 did not know about Taishima, but they did inform Yuza and Azumi about Taishima. Since this event takes place before they go to Kamishima. I would love to inquire deeper about these Taishima mermaids. If you don't mind, could you share the identity of the descendant you speak of? My apologies, but I'm afraid I cannot oblige. She is not the friendliest sort, frankly. I even have trouble getting her to open up. Okay, so he heard this directly from Somikawa. This Somikawa. No matter how many times I visit her, I always feel I'm only getting one part of the story. I see. That's a real shame. Alright, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Now, this may not be much consolation, but I have another interesting rumor from this descendant to share. Oh, I'm all ears. It concerns one of the rumored Taishima mermaids. It is said that a few decades ago, one of those mermaids turned human and now lives among us. No kidding! She became human. It does ring a bell, though. Why, that is exactly like the story of the Little Mermaid! What an exciting discovery! You say this was only a few decades ago? That makes it quite recent. This former mermaid could even be walking among the people here as we speak. If the story is true, then yes. However, I'll concede that even I find the story hard to believe. It is a little fantastical. By the way, may I ask why you're searching for Isebei's mermaids, Avi? No particular reason. I decided it'd be fun to wander through some sightseeing areas related to mermaid folklore. That's all. Liar. I see. Well, since you traveled all the way to Japan to sightsee, I'd love to ask you some questions. Was there anything missing from the areas you visited that you think might have made your trip more enjoyable? about those photo spots you put your face in? Oh, I know those. I love them. Really? Are they interesting? They're a Japanese tourism classic. I'd love to see more of them. Agreed. If I saw one, I would certainly take a photo with it. Oh, and please sell more of those little pennant flags. I can't resist them. I see. I truly appreciate the input, but perhaps things are fine as they are. He does not give a shit. If there really were mermaids on Taishima 400 years ago, then that could provide us with valuable new information. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been given 2 hot dogs and I really want to eat them. So we're just gonna sit and stare at this guy for a minute while I eat at least one of these hot dogs. Okay, that's 1 hot dog. I like that I was getting a, hey, you muted your microphone notification. Girl, I have fucking up a hot dog. Should you discover anything new regarding the area's mermaids, please let me know. Understood. We hope you'll do the same for us. A mermaid who turned into a human. That's true. Things might prove difficult. Amazing. A brand new mermaid legend. The real question is why? Why? There's a long history of people making up legends to drive tourism. Such stories lingering on, despite their veracity being entirely unverifiable. I suppose. Is something the matter? It's nothing. It's nothing. Well, it's about time for us to get going. Yes, of course. Thank you, and I apologize again for taking so much of your time. Actually, since you've come all the way to Japan... If anything happens to you during your vacation here, or you need any other help at all, please feel free to give me a call. I'm quite familiar with all sorts of business in the area. For example, I could put you in touch with someone should you be looking to interview APA divers. Oh, really? That's very kind. You're not just saying that as a formality, are you? A free-spirited lad like myself will not hesitate to take you up on an offer like this. I will call you! I will call you! Please do not hold back. I'll leave you two to your sightseeing. Please have a good time. If mermaids really did live on Taishima, it's certainly worth investigating. It's Ikuma's business card. He's the CEO of the event planning company we ran into earlier. Goodness. This map looks quite old. Exactly. It is also the precise reason why I've come to Mie. To put it simply, this is no ordinary map. This is a mermaid treasure map. A mermaid treasure map? Allow me to explain. I found this mermaid treasure map in the family storage. I should explain it to Cersei. Okay, we're gonna save again, and I'm going to try and take that poster off the wall. Oh, oops. Ready? Yes, please proceed. You sure? Because I'll do it. I really will. There's no telling what may happen. Quit stalling. Oh my god. I thought it was gonna be evil. It's just my bird. It's just my bird. Oh my god, Dawn Heron. Hell yeah. I thought it was gonna be scary. It's just my friend Bird. What? Oh my god, that's really funny. There isn't anything I missed in here, is there? Nope, not really. Okay, let's talk to Cersei. I found this map in the old family storage. It was left behind by my great-grandmother. If she's your great-grandmother, that would make her my great-grandmother's sister. I heard she was exiled from the Lunarlight family because of her eccentricities. That's correct. She was quite fond of the occult and amassed a number of suspicious curios over her lifetime. As a child, I loved searching through the storehouse that housed her collection. It was like a treasure hunt of wonders, a demon's tail, a yeti's bone, a book of black magic, Ogopogo's tooth, a piece of a UFO, a crystal skull. I cannot vouch for that any of it was authentic, but it was still so exciting to look through. It is no exaggeration when I say that this very storehouse is what led me down the path of becoming a fantasy author. Suppose that's the kind of formative experience an occult writer needs, so she probably did she marry P.T. Barnum? That would be really fucking funny. No, or somebody did. I don't know. Well, great-grandmother, it's the 80s. No. So it would probably be somebody else on the paternal line related to the... Well, it would have to be someone on the paternal line related to Barnum, because the maternal line is Lunarlight. I'm just going crazy. Who knows? Just so, I have my great-grandmother. I have to thank my great-grandmother. She's the reason I could put food on the table. And among the items in that collection was this. I see, a mermaid mummy. Precisely. They were rather prevalent at sideshows, like this all over the world in the 19th century. Mermaid mummies from Japan were quite popular because of their high quality. A number of them were even made their way to Europe. Huh. This one probably made its way to the family storage around that time. It's probably passed down from one seller to another until it ended up in my great-grandmother's hands. How are you so sure it was made in Japan? Well, you see, I gave this mummy a thorough investigation. I even took it apart. Sure enough, it was made of wood and paper clay. Okay, it was fake. But it was fake with the map. Okay, well the map is what we know Yumiko and Soto are looking for. Truly? You found a map inside a mummy? Whoever made it all those years ago must have snuck the map inside. I doubt my great-grandmother had the slightest idea it was even in there. That's an incredible discovery. It is simply tantalizing, is it not? There is not a doubt in my mind that it will lead to a most thrilling discovery. So then, why did you call this a mermaid treasure map? Well, it was hidden inside a mermaid mummy. So it follows that it must be a treasure map of sorts, no? I see. Your enthusiasm has carried you quite a ways from home. I'm impressed. Thank you. I have no doubt our treasure lies somewhere in Issei Bay. What a shame there's no X to mark the spot. Oh wait, no. That's Circe, yeah. What a shame there's no X to mark the spot. Indeed. And that leads us to our first conundrum. Any ideas how to decipher this map, Circe? Put me on the spot, why don't you? But it does look like there's something written here. Do you know what it says? Oh, that part. I actually did some research on that. Apparently it says, search the 95th. Search the 95th? It makes it sound like it leads to a secret location of some sort. Yes, and it must be related to the mermaids. Aren't you just itching to find it? You know it. I knew it. I am counting on you to help me solve this map's riddle. Let's take a good look. We can wait a minute. Oh wait, I just remembered. You said you can douse, no? Can't you just douse for the treasure? Then we could skip this whole map and riddle business altogether. I apologize, but that's impossible. Truly? But why? Dousing is usually to find waterways, vein of ore, other things. My dousing, however, can be used to find people and objects imbued with spiritual power. However, I must be familiar with the spiritual power that I'm looking for. I see. In other words, you wouldn't be able to find a treasure you've never seen or heard of. Yes, the distance from which I can detect the source also depends on how strong the spiritual power is. It's not quite the superpower I thought it was. I say we've had enough of a diversion. Let's get back to investigating your map. Yes. Oh? Did you notice something? It looks like something's written on the other side. I see. I knew I must have missed something. I should carefully hold the edge when I want to look at the other side. Eureka. Inspiration strikes. I figured it out. Did you? Where's the treasure? Oh! Oops. The phrase, search the 95th, is written on the map, close to the location of the Issei province. If I were to guess, I would say it's over 100 years old. No, perhaps even more than 200 years old. I wonder how old it really is. Circe, do you recognize the symbol on the lower right? It appears quite similar to Sanskrit. However, I don't recall a character quite like that one. It may be a mark unique to the cartographer, like a signature. If that's the case, it's irrelevant to our investigation. I agree, though my opinion will change should we come across the symbol elsewhere. Look closer. Isn't that Taishima? You're right! It depicts an island to the south of Kamishima. It's safe to assume this map was made before Taishima sank, then. That makes it over 400 years old, and made during the Sengoku period. Incredible! Take a close look at all the spots in the back of the map. Is this a star map? Oh, those? I did just notice a bunch of stains. Do you really think that's all they are? Something about these spots feels familiar. Oh yeah, that's literally the star map. It's literally the summer star, isn't it? Can I hold it up to the light? Or hold it up to the— Ah! I knew it! Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. Flip it over? Look closer. Shit, I don't know what's actually there. Okay, well I know where it's there. No! No! Oh my gosh, I don't have the right map, do I? I'm not supposed to know this yet. God damn it. I don't know. I believe I've noticed something about the map. Would you like me to share my discovery? You have? Nuh-uh. I will solve this through my own grit, or so help me God. I understand. Keep it up. Well, let's talk about the mermaid search. To be frank, I didn't just come here to solve the map's riddle. My real goal is to find an actual mermaid. Oh! Yes, I had a feeling that was it. So you already knew! Exorcists, sir, have some keen instincts. What will you do if you find a mermaid? Do you want to become immortal? I suppose. Might as well, considering all the trouble finding one will be. Your reasoning is unexpectedly uninspired. Simple though it may be, I find the idea quite romantic, akin to ascending to a new stage of humanity. Sure, I guess. I take it you disagree with my thinking, Cersei? I fail to see why my opinion should matter here. What you do is your decision to make. Though I'm not certain an immortal can still be called human. Still, your decision is relevant to my duty, so I will try not to interfere. Actually, meeting an immortal would be a rare once-in-a-lifetime chance. Please transcend humanity and let me examine you. I'd prefer if you didn't speak of me like a research specimen, but I'll overlook it for now. Though I do wonder if immortality would actually bring you any happiness. When you look at old folks' tales, it tends to be less of a blessing and more of a curse. Jeez, don't say that after I already made up my mind and everything. Well, I'm sure you'll be alright. If you tire of immortality, you'll need to embark on a journey, like a modern-day Yavakuni. That is one way to look at it, though I think the nun part might be an issue. Well, I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. There is no immortality to be had until I find the mermaid flesh to bite into. So let's start there. Understood. I'm also quite interested in finding a mermaid myself. Searching for just a mermaid alone seems like a waste. Agreed. Did you say mermaid meat? Yeah, searching for mermaid meat alone seems like a waste. Agreed. The best way to go about this was to find a living human mermaid. Although I have no doubt that this map will lead us to a place that's related to mermaids and immortality. This is quite exciting. Now, this is what I call a true adventure. No matter the era, there's nothing better than a quest for the unknown. Well, if you're so desperate to flaunt your wit, I suppose I could let you help me out a bit. Let's start by thinking about what's written on the map. Remember how the 95th is written on top of Ise Province? Do you recall a conversation we had yesterday? There was something related to Ise that had more than 95 parts. There was. Giving your files another look. And ask again if you're struggling to— Oh, well I do know the name of it. Hold on. That's profiles, hold on. That's the tail. What am I doing? Oh, tails. 125. The 95. Hikaboshi. And... okay. There is nothing written here. Okay, so let's just click on that and say... Allow me to explain. You see, the 95th in the riddle must refer to the 95th tale, as in the Tales of Ise. And the title of that tale is none other than Hikaboshi. Next, note how the Summer Triangle constellation is drawn on the back. The location of Hikoboshi, or Altair, corresponds to this very spot on the map. Oh, you got it! Incredible. Okay. I kind of knew what we were getting at. I just needed to... I was thinking that I had to name the place, not the star. That was my problem, and I didn't know exactly what lie there. I was only able to figure it out thanks to your help. Let's consider this a victory for us both. Solve the mystery of the map as Arnav Barnum. Avi's a genius. I figured out where the treasure lies. I'm quite keen to keep investigating further, but I should confirm other matters first. Yes, sir. Sorry, I like looking at it. It's funny. Is there anything else? I guess not. Even if we were to search the area on the map, it's in the middle of the sea. How are we supposed to search a place like that? Looking for an unknown object somewhere on this large swath of the sea floor seems like an impossible task. You're right. That does sound a little difficult. We might have to ask our friendly CEO for help. He did give us a card. However, wouldn't that mean we'd have to inform him of the map? No other way about it. In addition, should we find anything, I imagine he'll expect to share the spoils. I really wanted to keep it all to myself. Sharing is the worst! I understand, but we have no other option. It's a shame, but I suppose you're right. We should contact him as soon as we can. I don't think we have to. 2 more to go. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I wanna go underwater gathering. I really wanna play. I need to get 2,000 points, and then I need to go back to Cursed and go talk to our friend, yeah, Kikuko, and she'll give me a reward, and I kind of want it if I get 2,000 points. So we might go play toys. We'll play toys, and I'll mute, and I'll be able to eat at the same time. Thank God. We got another bird. Gull and roses. Okay. I will no longer have to mute myself for anything, so we're good. Please, God. Okay, they got my foot caught in rocks. How sweet. Oh! That's the symbol that was on the— oh no! That's the symbol that's on the map. Oh hey. Hey man. That's worrisome, actually. I wonder if this is the spot that— well, I wonder if the map is also the spot where everyone died all those years ago. Oh yay, we did it! That's all we needed. Local Delicacy Hall, reach a high score of 2,000 points. Okay, yay. Okay. Oh, look, Kikoko's back. Okay, this is it. By the way, Yuzo, how much practice did you manage to get in today? Enough to be able to do most things comfortably, I think. For sure, I can tell you've improved a lot just by the way you carry yourself. You must have had a real talent for diving if you were able to prove just that much in one day. Wow, it's pretty impressive you can tell that just by looking at him. Hey, I thought of a way I can show my support. If you manage to get a high score of 2,000 points in one diving session, I'll give you a special prize. Whoa, isn't that great, Yuzo? What was your highest score today again? Let's see. I think it was 2,586 points. Wow, you really did it. I sure did. That's amazing, Yuzo. Guess you've earned yourself a prize. Here you go, a rare bird sticker I found while diving the other day. Yay! Oh my god, we got another one. Albatross boss. That's so awesome. You lucky dog. I didn't think you'd get a new mockingbird sticker so soon. It looks like a rare one, too. Oh, really? Nice. Love you, girl. Thank you. Oh, we got 3 new stickers. Dawn Heron, the Maverick leader of the tight-knit delinquent crew Rebels Roost. Temperamental by nature, he often flares the impressive crest on his head to intimidate intruders on his turf. Although long-term rivals with the Ocean Outlaws, hooligan days, in recent days he's also found his feathers ruffled by the increasingly bold antics of Blue's brutal beaks, questioning his patience to the limit. Albatross Boss. The leader of the Ocean Outlaws, a gang of hooligans who soar around the skies of a seaside town. His imposing size and taciturn demeanor have won the admiration of many birds, leading to his influence growing by the day. However, the truth is, he's not really thinking of much at all. His silence just happens to be interpreted as flattering, in a flattering light, or by those around him. Golden Roses, a member of the Ocean Outlaws hooligan gang, usually found whiling away his days by the seaside. He has a tendency to suddenly show up whenever trouble begins brewing, just so he can stick his beak into the chaos. Despite being the only one to notice the lack of substance behind Albatross Boss's imposing demeanor, he finds it more entertaining than anything else, and has thus far elected to keep quiet about it. That's why they're besties. So cute. And these three hate each other. That's really funny. Dear God. Okay, well we have half an hour. Man, I don't know. Should we get started or should we call it? I might call it, because I probably should get to work on some stuff. Yeah. That way we can wrap up at least 3 chapters next Friday? I think that's pretty okay. Well, in any case, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. It's been a good one. I don't have much else to say. Next Friday we'll come back to this again. And that Saturday after we'll play more. We're gonna be here forever. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I appreciate it. If you drop by for even just a few minutes, it delights me endlessly. Take care, get some rest, bye!